James Wan is in talks, at least, not confirmed, but in talks to do a Creature from the Black Lagoon remake for Blumhouse. Now, I have the article here. Before we get to our discussion here, I just want to get the quote down. Apparently, the project is described as a grounded, modernized retelling that leans into visceral horror whilst paying respect to the original classic. This sounds... I mean, first of all, I was already sold by the time that it said Creature. And then it said James Wan. I'm like, okay, I'm double sold. And then it's like, oh, it's in the style of Blumhouse with like Invisible Man and the new Wolfman. I'm like, oh my God, this is like exactly what I would have dreamed of. I don't know about you, Tyler, but I loved 2020's Invisible Man. I thought it's just amazing.
It's great.
I could not be more excited for the Wolfman remake with Lee Winnell as well. And this looks like it's in that same style and vein. So what are your takes on this development in the world of Universal Monster News?
I mean, it's interesting because Creature from the Black Lagoon has been in production purgatory, as I like to call it, or development purgatory. I know people call it development hell, but I call it development purgatory because the idea of purgatory is that you eventually get out of it. But I digress on that. So the thing, it's been in talks since the 1980s and went through various different people throughout the years. And at one point, ironically, the writers of Aquaman were working on a script for a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie for the Dark Universe. I would love to get my hands on that script, by the way, and then it's ironic because James Wan, who directed the Aquaman movies, is going to direct this one. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to hold my breath too much for it. But ironically, too, I saw some rumor that Scarlett Johansson is considered for a lead part. And she was rumored to be in the Dark Universe remake as well. So we'll see what happens with that. And ironically, too, I wore this shirt not just because of the news recently and also because it's related to the topic we're talking about right now with the Universal Monsters. But today happens to be the birthday of Laurie Nelson, who was in Revenge of the Creature. So I got 3 reasons to wear this shirt today.
That's awesome. That's great. Great points there. Bruce, I think the scripts that Tyler mentioned are of interest to you because you did an entire episode.
I actually did 3 episodes because I did 2 smaller episodes on other versions, and then I got a whole bunch more, and Jack, who did the episode with me, was like, I'm going to read all of them, not just the new ones you got. And so it turned into this 4-hour monstrosity about Creature from the Black Lagoon scripts. And that's the thing. It means like they've been trying to do a remake of this since like 1981. Is this really going to be the version that like gets it done? I'm not sure.
I mean, look, there's really only been one Creature remake, and that's Shape of Water. And that's only because Guillermo del Toro pitched it as a remake to Universal, and Universal said, no, this is a bad idea. And then he did it anywhere else, and it won Best Picture. That's like the most baller story in all of Hollywood. So
now he's making Frankenstein.
Yeah, see. Yeah, for Netflix. And the thing is, related to a remake, I've been trying to reach out to, people at Universal and James Wan on social media, and I've been saying that, hey, you're going to remake this movie. Well, reach out to me because I have a script ready to pitch to them for a remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, I don't have it copyrighted because I don't have the rights to it, so I can't legally do that. But out of fun, I decided to just write a remake of Creature as kind of like my own, what if I would do one. And my idea would be contemporary setting, similar to the original, but different enough to have its own identity at the same time. I would reuse the characters from the original movie, and of course, you got to have the iconic moment of the Gillman and Kay Lawrence doing that synchronized swim. In various other moments from the original movie, I would feel like you have to do that. But other than that, I just would like to have this movie as, it'd be rated R, mainly for violence, some language in it, but it would be a movie where it's similar, like 60% Wolfman with Benicio del Toro, but 40% Brendan Fraser Mummy. So in a way, it's kind of some fun in it, but also it's mainly like a horror movie for the most part, with some drama in there too.
Sure.
It's funny.
Is my pitch to it.
I haven't written it, but I have a pitch that I thought of a few years ago, which is do it like a survival thriller. Where it's
That's not
like,
a bad idea.
Basically the elevator pitch would be Creature from the Black Lagoon meets The Edge, the Anthony Hopkins movie where they're getting stalked by the bear.
Sure.
Basically, they crash their plane by the Black Lagoon, and then it goes from there.
I'll say 2 things. The first thing I'll say is Chapter 7, The Devil's League, on bookshelves wherever books are sold right now. The other thing I'll say as well, I did it. But the other thing as well on that is, I guess a little more relevant, is that the first Creature, I think, is one of the best Universal monster movies.
Yes.
It's probably, in my mind, like 9 out of 10. Like, it's high marks in my mind. I like Revenge of the Creature. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And Among Us, I did not care for at all. I think that's a very sour way to end the trilogy.
It has
Where he's
one
just
or
this-
two good scenes and ideas, and the rest of it is just bad.
And then, of course, Shape of Water is just brilliant. It's
It's great.
Like, I'm fond of the Creature movies. I have a special place in my heart. But Shape of Water, it's undeniable how, like, the care and attention with that story that took. So, I don't know. If I had to count it as one, even though it's not an actual Creature movie, probably be my favorite one. And I can't wait to see what James Wan would do with this concept. So
Yeah, the other thing is that when James Wan takes on like a horror concept, it explodes. Like, we got the whole torture porn craze came from Saw. And then he made Insidious and The Conjuring, and we got a million shitty ghost movies. So maybe this will bring back monster movies to the point we get fucking sick of them. Sadly,
time will only tell.
Sadly, Malignant didn't give us a wave of batshit insane movies, but
Sadly,
Yeah, I wanted to add was that I'm happy that Universal has moved away from this whole blockbuster phase that started with, ironically, the first remake of The Mummy, and then ironically ended with the other remake of The Mummy. And the only one that wasn't trying to be like an action blockbuster was the 2010 Wolfman, which I'm excited that movie's finally coming to 4K this October. I pre-ordered my copy of that. But the thing is, I like how in the 2020s they've gone through what I like to call the experimental phase, where they're not trying to be these expensive movies. They're trying to be more isolated continuity and these unique stories. And they've been hit or miss. Like, I like The Invisible Man. I also liked Abigail, but I thought Renfield and Last Voyage of the Demeter were kind of disappointing in my opinion. But I'd rather take these movies that creatively roll the dice on stuff than this overly predictable factory filmmaking of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I personally believe is the McDonald's of cinema. That's just my opinion on that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. But at the same time, it's fine if I would see this as a blockbuster or at least more of a mainstream movie, because I would like to go to Universal Monster Film where you got a exclusive popcorn bucket or a special drink for this kind of movie, because you don't have those with the recent ones. And I would definitely buy one of those if that became like a big thing, or at least this movie got made.
That would be legendary. I'm starting to collect the popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
It's becoming too expensive of a habit for me to maintain. But B, the other issue is that I got nowhere to put like 10, 15 of these stupid buckets.
Did you buy the Dune bucket?
Of course I bought the Dune bucket. Are you kidding me? That's like the bucket. And as soon as we turn off recording, I'm going to open up my Dune bucket. No, just kidding.
Oh, God. Well, don't do it on recording. Don't be like DSP.
Yeah, that would be weird. But no.
Yeah, I remember I was just asking I didn't want to buy the Deadpool Wolverine popcorn buckets when I went to Saturday on opening weekend. The woman working there was like, yeah, we all sold out on Thursday night with them. So I'm like, wow, that's this movie's going to be a hit. I knew just from that news that, yeah, this movie's going to make big. It's already made $1 billion. So that really was a telltale sign of the movie's immediate success.
Well, I think where I have to draw the line is that I pay for A-list because I'm just obsessed with movies and new movies and stuff like that, as I'm sure we all are. But the issue is that like you get a lot of upgrades, a lot of free points. None of that crap applies to buying a popcorn bucket. You still got to pay the $38 freaking out of pocket to get one of these. So it's like
that's how they make their profit.
Yeah, but come on, I'm paying. It's like Netflix subscription prices. I'm paying a service and I'm getting. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. But I got to tone it down. But no, if they made a Universal Monster bucket, bro, I don't care how much room I have in this spare room of mine. It's going in there.
They should have made it the meter bucket.
They should have. Would it be the ship?
Maybe
just the guy's face.
Dracula's head.
Yeah, the big head.
It could be the Gillman's head or maybe the Rita ship.
She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D. Don't